Now, at least 2 Palestinians have been killed after being shot by Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank. This follows armed confrontations in the Tulkarem refugee camp. Locals say ambulances were prevented from reaching the scene. Israeli forces have killed 204 Palestinians in the occupied West Bank just this year. Meanwhile, dozens were wounded east of Nablus after Israeli forces fired tear gas and sound bombs at the Palestinian youth there. Palestinians blocked roads as soldiers escorted hundreds of settlers to perform rituals at Joseph's tomb. Let's go to Nida Ibrahim, who's live for us in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Let's start with the camp in Tulkarem. What more do we know about the Israeli raids there?
Well, the Israeli raid took place in the early morning, and usually we've been seeing Palestinians into kind of retaliating or responding to these Israeli raids by shooting at nearby illegal Israeli settlements. This is what happened today after the Israeli forces retreated from the camp. The Palestinians who have been killed are believed to have shot towards an Israeli settler on a motorcycle. According to witnesses, armed confrontations ensued later on when the Israeli forces shot the 2 men, a 23-year-old and a 27-year-old, and then they prevented all medical help from reaching the scene. And then when they died, the Israeli forces took the bodies. This is an Israeli policy of withholding Palestinian bodies of people that Israel says are responsible for shooting or killing Israelis or Israeli soldiers. Now, Palestinians say that during that raid have managed to injure 1 Israeli soldier. We've seen videos of trails of blood that Palestinians believe belong to an Israeli soldier. All in all, we're talking about now 206 Palestinians killed since the beginning of the year in the occupied West Bank by the Israeli forces. And the total number of Palestinians killed in the besieged Gaza Strip and the West Bank by Israeli forces has risen to 250.
And Nida, we also had this incident in Nablus where dozens of Palestinians were wounded. Can you talk us through what happened there?
Well, what happens a lot of times is that Israeli settlers, under the protection of the Israeli army, raid Nablus and head to Joseph's tomb. And usually confrontations by Palestinians, sometimes hurling rocks at those who are there, basically happen. We've seen that happening last night. Now, let's not forget that this is already a tense situation. We're talking about the deadliest year in nearly 2 decades in the occupied West Bank. Tension is high. Israeli raids take place almost on average. We're talking about more than a dozen per day in different Palestinian towns and cities. So Palestinians would tell you they don't have much to do but try to stop the Israeli raids, the Israeli visits, the Israeli settlers, basically treating the West Bank as if it's a part of Israel.